The Kremlin admits it made mistakes in the way it mobilized reservists to fight in Ukraine as protests against the call-up continue.
Some Russians are happy to answer President Putin's call, but clearly many are not. And in some parts of the country, mobilization is sparking social unrest and undermining trust in the authorities.
Now, it is the last day of voting in the so-called referendums in 4 occupied regions in Ukraine about whether they should become part of the Russian Federation.
The government in Kyiv and its Western allies have dismissed the so-called referendums as a sham.
We're joined now live by our correspondent Hugo Bachega. Hugo, when will we hear the results and what potentially will this mean for the people living there?
Well, Sally, we're expecting the results to be announced at some point this week, but we're not expecting any surprise, really. The Ukrainians and Western countries say that this is a farce, this is a process with no legitimacy, and that the result has already been decided by the Kremlin, and that it is going to be used by Moscow as an excuse to annex parts of Ukraine. And I think this is the fear here, that Moscow is going to say, look, these areas are now part of Russia, and any attack on those areas will be seen as an attack on Russian territory. So that could lead to an escalation in the war here. Now, last night, President Zelensky said any action by Russia as a result of this process will receive a tough response. And the Biden administration is saying that it would impose more economic sanctions on Moscow if Russia goes ahead with the annexation of parts of Ukraine.